Now, getting audio. Microphone. There. Okay. Find what get the display capture to go. There we go. We have display. Here we go. So yeah, we're going to be using the Model Context Protocol at Golang SDK to work with BitBucket. SDK. Let me put that over. I had to do quite a bit of testing with this SDK to get decent enough to work with. So let's see from the pull request to commit history with that. So let's get it going. We'll do a git clone. Yep, I'm going to actually do a fork first. No, let's actually probably do just do a fork, but the best bet would be, you know what, go to the SDK first. Sorry about why I wanted to clone this just on GitHub, I guess. Okay, so what we're going to do, create our own project in GitHub. We have, as you can see, we have a type input and type output. A few functions. This example here, again, just makes it very basic. Input string. And we're just passing in the say hi function. So MCP should be just working through as a loop. It's our main. Now what we want to do with this is go through the BitBucket. Last week I've been going to town fixing the test case on this repo, but let's go to pull requests. What I'm going to do is basically something very simple. See if there's a pull request that comes through. Monitor for those. So let's go with a list method. Now we're going to list. We can keep it as read-only as possible. So add comment, do a list. Fetch the next step after lists for if there's anything new comes in. Add comments. The comment will be such as this pull request has been seen by our little AI agent. Very simple. So with this request comment options, what are we passing in here? I need to go back to our Go BitBucket. This will be in BitBucket.go then. Pull request options. So best owner. Just going to be the workspace. Repo select or select for the repository. Pull request ID. Comment. Comment ID. Parent. Do we need parent? Of course, context. So let's go through this. So first, content. Yeah, content. Pretty straightforward. Just a string. What we're going to comment. Not yet. We won't have that. But and for so root one, it should be blank as well. So very basic. What we're going to look for are So I have that noted. Go back to our MCP so we know what we're doing. So let's actually, I'm going to create the repo. What am I going to name it? Call it BitBucket. There, go BitBucket. Let's go BitBucket MCP. There we go. But of course, first start small, which is using the simple pull request, make a comment that's seen. Unfortunately, with BitBucket, I do not have a premium, so we're going to have to use personal access tokens. Premium, you can use a workspace access token for your repositories, but, well, let's keep the strip back a bit more. Pull requests will only apply to a single repository, so we can use a workspace repo token. Let's do that. I'll go through the process of creating it. Okay. So let's create our repository. Go BitBucket MCP. Golang. API. Because that is what Go BitBucket specifically uses the 2.0 API for BitBucket. Public. README, sure. Can ignore instead. Golang. Go. License, we'll be generous and do Apache 2.0. Yes, I did not even add this on my LinkedIn or else the stream. Oh well. Yes, they PM. PI 2.0. Go BitBucket MCP. Here we go. Create the repo. Let's make it clone it. Now we can do a git clone. Yeah. There. Let me move my resource. No, let me take a copy of this tab. I'm going to move it. Where are these? So I can see them on another screen while I start the low-hanging fruit of main.go. Let's do gonna do our function main. No, sorry, .o. Oops, it's going. Let's do create a context. Background. Oh, this headset because I didn't charge the Bluetooth one. Let's start with our. I don't know, watching the stream will go well. Start creating our client. So yeah, as you can see here, this basically we're going to be creating a boilerplate. There's also a good amount of examples, but as you can see here, we have client server. But right now I'm going to start with the client. But examples, so list features, simple example. There's simple main function, perception. These are good, just our server. Do something very basic. Probably best bet would be to start with the server. Sorry about that. Still going through the scheme. So here's the say hi example I mentioned first. Which I'm going to go through. So we have basically a function name. Yeah, very basic. Our greater function. Very similar to, again, what we have here. Say hi. After we create server, then we can start with the client. Okay. Again, like I said, there's also, as mentioned, MCP Go. Which is implementation. SDK is the again here. So that's the rabbit hole. So we're going here. More featureful than the MCP Go, but it was more basic. It is also going to get a star. This is going. So we created the repo. Now we just need to the stream is just going to be more back on evaluating. So we need to know what we want to do with it. We want to fetch pull requests, monitor those, and make simple comments that they've been read. Now which background do we want to use first is the question. What this stream is going to turn into, checked with. So we have an add tool. So yeah, let's go with again the concepts. Let you build servers, expose data functionalities to LLMs, but their resources to give get endpoints. Provide functionality through tools, sort of like post, points, execute code. Okay. Define interactive patterns through prompts. So yeah, here concept, MCP server, SDO, resources, that's BitBucket. So set to LLMs, community thing, files API resources, responses, data BigQuery, system information, stack, extra, or dynamic. So let's do the resource. Should be. Play anything using a URL. Says it now. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Template. Profile returns user profile information. Okay, here this is going somewhere. We have our URI. The tools, which are basically that. Metrics from computation have basically similar to post endpoint and REST API. Okay. So I'm leaning towards using that. Yeah, so tired. MCP Go as it's more better documented, and for again simple, easy to use. So let's focus on that instead of the context protocol SDK. Well, this one, this one is more maintaining collaboration with Google, yeah, the main one. That was MCP going. Yeah, kind of old. Last week, okay, this one's maintained. Where's the other one? Go MCP. I won't call this actively maintained either. Then down to the Mac 3 Labs. Okay. However, again, this is one of the trade-offs you have to consider when you have multiple tools to choose from. Like for the stream, come to an conclusion on it to get one to use. Again, the Go SDK is the primary officially supported one. Or it is more verbose compared to this one, MCP Go. Let's see what the quick start is. So you have a tool, which is basically our logic post. Into it. Where's our resource? Yeah. To client, post test received result. Where's our client? Basically, it's server one. MCP, okay. Interesting synchronous. Okay, let me get current tasks. Oh, here we go. HTTP request example. So we have our HTTP tool. So our HTTP request to externally base, which we're doing with the Go BitBucket. This is our concept. That's not HTTP API wrapper too. Interesting. Come to the client, okay. That's our HTTP client. Doing for prompts. Nice query example, okay. Now let's go back to this, see what examples we have here. Go SDK. Okay. Redux. Let's start with the servers, since that's the first thing. So yeah, with this, you can first create the context and a prompt handler. It's much more robust, but gives them much more flexibility for what it can do, though. Say. So if we go back to our example on the server, say hi. Control, which is a post. Background logic. Header tool, which will be our say hi function. And run context background. And this to client disconnects. Okay, go back to creating the content client. Session. Back to our examples. We have HTTP logging malware MCP. Okay, we can do this over HTTP. It's interesting. It's useful. Indigo. Not sure if this is going to be necessary. It goes okay. Response. For examples. Server. You have memory, rate limiting, sequence. So looking for something simple API backend. Look at the. You know what? Since BitBucket and GitLab are similar. What examples we could find for this? Did GitLab go? Okay. not using. Okay. I'm going to end up looking for next one is which MCPs, I mean, find like example from GitLab that's using, most likely ideally to Go SDK says that's the main support one, but still not throwing out this custom. The MCP Go, again, it's well documented, very basic, keeps it simple. We're going to go through a few examples for GitHub for basic, which is this one, probably came out recently. TypeScript's all great. Oh. Looking at this MCP server GitLab right here. So with our main.go, we're not really still. Oh, itself, okay. And of course, the create issue, which has been phased out of at BitBucket. But it would cover that. Something I've searched for projects is a good one. MCP server, okay. Okay, never mind. Now, where are we importing the MCP server for? Let's go to server.go. Type MCP server, GitLab client, okay. Put new MCP server, creates a new MCP server instance. So this is a good example of just throwing it all yourself without using its external dependency SDKs. Good point. I like how to break down the schemas. Or create a repository. Again, what they use, actually see my thought process for learning new technologies. There's a big thing. We're at 43 minutes and stream. Okay. I'm not really expecting many joins. Nice present day weekend, and of course you can see the weather is 69. It's probably nice outside. Should probably go outside. Table list tools. So we have our tools, basically our post utilities. Create or update files, search repositories, create repository, get file content, push files, create issue, create merge request, for repository, create branch. Again, not really much for. Trying to keep this, again, start out for the read only, just more heavily write, except for search repository. Just search repository, let's go through that. Schema, object, okay, so we take a type description. And of course our right one, which is create repository. Medium, symbol boolean. Passing is again just JSON to the BitBucket API. The way to go through is our test functions. Test new gig up client. So we have a client. Okay, some very basic tests. But yeah, that's 1 hour in. I'm gonna have to take a break. But yeah, what I'm gonna do it. Definitely continue on with this. Next one will be actually start implementation. So let's clear this out. This will be our server. We'll have to start with the server. Not sure we need a context server. We'll try, but we have the repo created. The plan for what we're going to do. Again, list monitor the bar for I can do pull requests. And then make a comment on that pull request stage after AI agent has seen it. Very basic. But for right now, still valuing the SDKs, which I'll get back on that firm decision by next stream session. Thank you.